everyone, so welcome to this week's Plan With Me video. If you guys missed last week's video, this is what the final spread ended up looking like. I think this is by far my absolute favorite design that I've done so far. I did all the artwork for it myself and I really love how it turned out. So I think I might be selling this in my shop soon. I'm still working out a few kinks and things like that, but yeah, so if you want to have a link to my shop, you can check back and I'll let you guys know when and if I end up selling this kit. So now moving on to this week's video. I'm actually filming this on a Monday, so this one is gonna go up late tonight. I just ended up not having time to film. Usually I do them on Sundays and stuff, but I had family visiting, so it was just a little bit of a busy weekend, and we were celebrating my mom's birthday and everything, so that's why the video is going to be a little bit late today. And then today I'm going to do another leftover sticker, kind of like mix and match kind of deal. So all the leftover stickers I have are these ones that I have on these little sheets, mainly full boxes and then just like some little half boxes, some flags, things like that. These are all just things that I've already had, and again, my sticker collection is growing, so I want to just use up the things that I've already printed. So even though it seems like a lot, this is all the stickers of things that I use every single time that are that I won't have any like leftovers of, that I end up having in my little sticker collection. So these, I do have to end up printing a lot of stickers for these mix match ones, but I do end up using a lot of the full boxes and just a little other things like that. So let's get started. So last week I talked about the worst Korean drama I had ever seen, and it was pretty much like a ranty video. I even put like a little disclaimer in the beginning just because it was very spoiler heavy and just ranty, and if no one wants to see that, then that's totally fine. But this week I'm going to be talking about the absolute best Korean drama I have ever seen. It was so amazing and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So first, I should just like mention the show name, that would be good. So the best Korean drama I've ever seen was the, what was it called? Moon Lovers Scarlet Heart Ryeo. I think that's the full name. So what I ended up doing was I watched the entire show by myself and I loved it so much. And the reason why I watched it by myself is because my friend is not a huge fan of she says she's not a huge fan of historical kind of dramas and stuff like that, and I absolutely love all kinds of like historical like themed shows. I love just like periodical kind of themed things, so I knew I was gonna love it or at least be interested in it. So I watched the whole show by myself, and then when I finished it, I knew that it was such a good show that even if my friend, you know, didn't really care for like the historical drama kind of themes, I knew that she would love it anyway, so I made her watch it and I rewatched the entire show with her, and it was such a good show that I didn't feel bored or anything. Like, even though I obviously knew everything that would happen, I didn't feel bored at all, even though I rewatched it, you know, like back to back. Like, it was like the next day I'm like, okay, you have to watch this, it's amazing. So I really don't want to spoil anything about this show because it is such an amazing show. I wouldn't want to like spoil it or like deter anyone from like not wanting to watch it, since, you know, if I were to like talk a lot about it. But I'm gonna give you like some of the high points that won't spoil it. But honestly, like, if you love like romantic historical dramas and stuff like that, I think that there's no way you wouldn't love this. Even if you're not like necessarily like a historical drama fan, like I said, my best friend, she typically doesn't like really stuff like that, and she loved it. It's just that good of a show. So basically the premise of the show is about a girl, she's like 25 in modern times, and she ends up being transported back in time to the, I think it's pronounced Koryo period. I don't know a whole lot about like Korean history or anything, but I believe that's how it's pronounced. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Koryo. But basically she ends up getting transported back in time, and she ends up living the life as another girl who is like 16 and stuff, and she lives at you know, like this palace and stuff. And it basically follows the reign of like the four kings of Koryo. and it was just so good. It's a multicast show, so there's a lot of people in it, which at first for me is always a little like, not annoying or anything. It's just a little difficult for me to like pay attention, just because I'm constantly like trying to remember like, okay, who is this person? Who is this person? You know, trying to keep all the people straight in my mind. But I think that I really like multi-cast kind of dramas and stuff like that. The Heirs also had a lot of people in it as well, but I also really loved that show. Again, same thing. There's just like a lot of people, so you kind of like just have to pay attention and keep track of who's who. But oh my god, it's so good. I mean, there's like a million love triangles, which is always, I don't know, I love triangles. I think they're just really interesting plot lines and stuff, because then there's always a side that you're rooting for and stuff. And in this show, there's definitely a few like love triangles where I was like, I really had no idea who I really wanted, you know, the main person to be with. But in the end, I thought it was such a beautifully shot, beautifully written, beautifully directed, beautifully acted. Just everything of it was so amazing. And it's actually based on a Chinese novel, and I think there's also a Chinese like TV show version of that as well, which I think the Korean version, I think follows it pretty closely with like just a few exceptions. But I thought it was just such an amazing show. The music in the show was absolutely amazing as well. Another thing I've kind of like gotten into a little bit more recently was like actually like Korean pop music and stuff, K-pop, and I am such a fan. That will be like in another, you know, video all on its own, because I could talk forever about K-pop now, and I've only like gotten into it just like a few weeks ago. But I highly recommend Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart Ryeo. Again, I think that's the full name, and I think that's how you say it. It was just such a good show. There's not many shows that I feel like I could watch back to back all the way through and like thoroughly enjoy, but it was amazing. And again, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say, just if anyone's watching and you have seen the show, just a little bit of my thoughts about it. The ending, I called the ending from the very beginning in the sense of what happens like time-wise, but they left it so open-ended at the end, which on one hand I really like, because then I know a lot of people really want like a season 2 or like a spin-off or a sequel or something, which I don't believe they typically do in like Korean dramas. I think usually like a show is just kind of like, once the show's over, it's pretty much over. But they left it so open-ended, and then I thought there was going to be something that happened at the end involving specific characters, and then it didn't happen. But then there were like some theories that came out and some screenshots of deleted scenes, you know, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I would absolutely love a spin-off. I think it would just be absolutely perfect for the show and everything like that. I would thoroughly enjoy it. Loved the main characters. I thought they did so good at casting, as always. I feel like they do such a good job. It was really good. And one thing I heard that kind of like shocked me was that I heard that it didn't really do as great in Korea. The show was super like wildly popular like internationally, which I can totally see why, and I just don't know. I don't know. And I think the reason why I decided I wanted to like watch a historical drama this time, because like I've seen about probably close to like 10 dramas now, and they were all like modern dramas and stuff, which I absolutely love those as well. But I was kind of getting a little bit bored of them. Not necessarily bored, but it was just kind of like really repetitive, a lot of the same plot lines over and over, which I totally get, because I mean, a lot of the times there's like, you've got like a really specific formula for like creating just any TV show in general, really. There was just a lot of reoccurring themes that were like too much like I've seen this story before 1,000 times. And one thing I really like about historical TV shows in general is that they're not afraid to like kill off people. Like obviously there's not a huge need for it in a lot of modern I guess, TV shows to like kill off, you know, characters left and right, but they really are not afraid to do it in historical drama, which I think can be a good thing and a bad thing. In Scarlet Heart, there were, I think, 4 specific times that I like bawled crying at the show just because it was so heartbreakingly beautiful, and it's like, I don't know, it's just one of those shows that like really makes you like feel. And you know, the happy times are extremely happy, and then the sad times are like traumatically devastating, but oh, it was so worth it. So I would 100% recommend this show to any and everyone. I didn't think that, I don't know, I kind of felt like I was hitting a lull point with Korean dramas in general, just because like I mentioned before, I just kind of felt like I had seen it all before. But now I kind of feel like reinvigorated to watch more dramas, more, I guess, like historical dramas rather, just for like a little different flavor of, you know, stuff. But totally 100% recommend this show to any and everyone. Like I said, a very generic, kind of non-spoilery review of Scarlet Heart Ryeo. I don't think there was, like, even after I finished watching, my friend, she was like, so was there anything that you didn't like about it? And honestly, I don't know, maybe I'm just like not critical enough when it comes to that, but it was so amazing. There was really nothing that I could really like fault for the show. I just thought it was absolutely amazing. So again, you guys, if you have not seen it, if you're looking for a TV recommendation, K-drama, totally check it out. I always watch a lot of the dramas on like Kiss Asian or like Viki sometimes, just free, easy to use websites, and so good. Okay, so this is it so far, and again, if you guys are interested in last week's video, I really love how this turned out, and it was definitely a lot different from my typical kind of like plan with me style and stuff. These are all the leftover stickers that I have from this week, so those will go back into my little planner, and that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below, and until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.